there's a level of rigidness where you cannot confide in your parents in everything because they will not understand you. They're not willing to have a conversation with you, and if you even try to bring it up, you might even get punished. Who wants to go through that?
Your parents are picking you up. They see you talking to a boy. They're like, I don't ever want to see you talking to that boy again.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you with
Yeah.
him.
Oh my gosh.
Why
I
are
have to say something after this.
Why are you automatically assuming I'm
Yes.
trying to get up on this boy and try to be like, you're going to be my boyfriend.
Yes.
I want to be with you. Like, no, I'm just talking.
Dude.
This is a friend.
Dude.
This is as much as my parents do know me, they also don't know me. And I'm not saying that as in like a suspicious way, I'm doing something like creepy, or it's just I don't feel the urge to tell them everything.
Is it because of their response?
I definitely do think so.
This podcast is not just for you both or for teenagers to vent. It's also to teach wisdom to the parents of young adults and teenagers. That's the goal. That's the objective. That's my assignment.
Disney Channel, shows maybe after school or something on the TV. Our mom would be sleeping, our dad would be at work. But as soon as we heard that door open,
We're scrambling around the house to go somewhere else.
Especially when it comes to, obviously relationships and guys. I might have to be a little performative in the way that I approach those kind of topics, because if I say some certain thing, they might be like, Yemi.
Hey family, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're having a real conversation. This is a safe space. No bashing parents, no pretending everything is perfect. Just honesty with love and grace. If you're a teenager listening right now and you've ever felt like you have to watch how you talk, your house was less of a home and more of a courtroom, watch how you sit, watch how you exist, this episode is for you. Today, we're talking about the realities of growing up with parents, strict rules, curfews, expectations, pressure, and the emotional side of it that no one really talks about. I'm joined by two amazing ladies, Yemi and Sunmi, and we're going to be talking about teens that teenagers can relate to. All right, so here goes my first question. Walking on eggshells. When people say walking on eggshells, what does that actually feel like for you?
The term walking on eggshells basically means like walking where danger is kind of near. You want to say things, but of course you have to say the right things because you actively know that people are kind of watching every single step and move that you make. So when you kind of make a step that kind of goes over their supposed boundaries, they might start looking at you a little funny. They might start side-eyeing you and start coming up with all of these presumptions about how they feel about you. And, you just have to be very mindful about the kind of environment you are, reading the room and assimilating yourself with people that surround you,
Walking on eggshells with parents is like you being performative. Like you're not acting natural. You're trying to have a certain persona around them just to try and satisfy what they want instead of just like everyone being cool around each other.
Exactly. So it's like you're not fully relaxed.
Yeah, I don't feel relaxed. I just feel like I have to do things so my parents don't start having thoughts or superstition of this and that,
Exactly. It's like you have to please them with everything that you do. You can't be your true and authentic self. Like what you're like when you're around your cousins or your friends or maybe your siblings. You can't be like that with your parents. That kind of thing.
Okay. Do you feel like you're more focused on pleasing your parents than being your authentic self? I'm referring to this on a personal note.
For me, it's definitely a middle ground. I tend to find myself naturally being authentic with my parents because they understand me the most and they know my personality and they understand the kind of person I am. At least in terms of who I am as a person, I don't have to kind of alter or shift myself in order to conform to their standards. I can kind of just be as natural as I want to be. But in terms of some other things, maybe we're having a certain kind of conversation surrounding sensitive topics, especially when it comes to, obviously relationships and guys. I might have to be a little performative in the way that I approach those kind of topics because if I say some certain thing, they might be like, Yemi, what is wrong with you? You're doing this. Are you okay? Did I raise you like? Nah, we're not trying to hear any of that. I just want to, kind of steer away from those kind of things. So some parts of me, yes, I can be authentic, but other parts surrounding certain kind of topics, yeah, I might have to steer away in the way that I approach them. I have to be a little bit performative in order to kind of match my parents' mentality.
Personally, for me, I feel like the more I've grown up, the more I've been able to become more myself and more natural. I definitely do feel like growing up, I was walking on eggshells, or I felt like I had to hide this or hide that, or like, for example, like, say, like, I'll be on my phone. I hear them coming up the stairs. Instead of me just being, like, be able to just be on my phone and just be like, oh, hey, I would go and hide the phone in my pillow. Like, it's, like, be like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing? Oh,
No,
just,
yeah.
like, looking around, just, but why can't I just feel comfortable enough to just have my phone out and not have to hide it when you come
Yeah.
and see me,
I remember like when we were kids, we used to watch like Disney Channel, shows maybe after school or something on the TV. Our mom would be sleeping, our dad would be at work. But as soon as we heard that door open,
We're scrambling around the house to go somewhere else. We just feel like sometimes playing around, they don't like play.
yes,
I feel like you have to be doing something constantly, which as a kid, like, of course, like, be productive, but at the same time, we're kids, like, you're not gonna expect the kids to be doing something productive 24/7.
It's like there's a criminalization around just kids having fun and being children. It's this mentality of, oh, you always have to be in school, you have to be walking, you have to be doing this, you have to do that. We know that we have to work, but we also know that there's a time for play, And after a long 8-hour day, 9-hour day of school, I mean, I don't find it a problem for many kids to find, like, it's just a little bit of downtime to relax and do things. Not that we're doing it for the whole day and then we do our homework. But yeah, we would find ourselves, just scrambling, finding other things to do, making it seem like maybe we're doing chores or, we're doing our homework or sleeping upstairs because our parents, when they see us, you play too much.
So that means, from what you both are saying, there's a version of you that your parents know, and then there's a version of you that you know and your friends know.
My parents always like to say, like, oh, I know you very well, I know this about you, I know this. But in reality, yes, they know me, but maybe from surface level, I think definitely a lot of the things that I would tell my sister or my friends or cousins wouldn't be the things I'd be telling my parents, because it would just turn into something way more out of proportion. And it just becomes a bigger situation, and nobody has the time to be handling all that. So as much as my parents do know me, they also don't know me. And I'm not saying that as in like a suspicious way, I'm doing something like creepy, or it's just I don't feel the urge to tell them everything that I am going through.
I have a question now as the follow-up to what you just said. Is it because of their response to whatever it is they'll find out if you try to be 100 with them?
I definitely do think so. Their response definitely can change the whole
mood.
the whole mood of the conversation. Like, it could be, I'm not saying that they have to be light and delicate with what they say. They can still be harsh and give the reality and the truth. But I telling them things, they like to turn it on you instead and make it seem like you're always the problem and make you feel bad for things you say. When really, like, it's not like that. You're not understanding my perspective. You're just going based off of what you think, but you're not understanding why I think that way, why I said it that way. So then I just don't even feel comfortable enough to tell you anything at all. And sometimes, like, this is not me trying to bash my parents or anything, but I do remember I had a conversation with my mom, and I was telling her how I felt, and it kind of like became an argument. And then I was like, this is why I don't tell you anything. And then she's like, I don't care what you have to say. So that always sticks.
She said that from a place of maybe frustration,
but it's like now, like, that kind of throws me off. And now anytime I feel like I want to tell her something, I feel like I can't really tell her exactly how it is, because in the back of my mind I remember her saying, I don't care what you tell me, like, I don't care what you have to say. So it's like, how am I supposed to comfortably tell you things when that's what you're trying to tell me,
Yeah, for sure. Like, sometimes when we approach certain topics or just certain things, the response definitely matters. Because sometimes an easy situation will escalate into something that's completely out of the normal.
It's not peculiar to you. In my years of being a teacher, interacting with teenagers, beyond both of you, I've heard teenagers say, oh no, I'm not going to say that to my mom and dad. Auntie, you just don't understand. They're going to blow it out of proportion. I'd rather just keep that to myself or share with my friends. And I think this is a learning moment for parents. I guess we're probably like 5%, but I know this school of parents exists. School of thought that do not want their children to hide anything from them, and then maybe the remaining 95% do not care, maybe because that's how they were raised. However, I am of the school of thought that it's possible for you to be a parent and your children can be 100 with you and not hide anything, but it's not as easy as I just said it, because this generation especially, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. There's the virtual world, and it's easy for parents to miss a lot of things going on in the lives of their children. The reason why I'm asking you both this question to speak on behalf of other teenagers or young adults around the world is, as much as I want you all to express and parents to get their scorecard, I also want parents to join the school of thought. I want parents to shift their mindset to wanting to come into their children's lives and have children that don't actually hide anything from them. Children that are authentic all the way. with them because I know it's possible. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of poker face. The reason why a lot of my teenagers are 100 with me most of the time is because I've had to do a lot of poker faces. They said something that punched me in my gut, not necessarily to disrespect me, but it's a reality they're facing, and it's like, did you just do that? Like my chest. But I have to keep a straight face, like, oh, okay, that happened. All right. Just so, like Sumi said, they don't shrink back.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Poker face. And so I have to keep a straight face and be like, okay, like it didn't just hit me, but it punched me in my gut, like I'm trying to breathe. Like, did she just tell me that? That kind of. Let's talk about curfews. That's a big one for teenagers. Curfews. Be home by 9 p.m. Be home by 7 p.m. Be home by 8 p.m. And I know it gets really difficult and dicey when you've moved out of the house. And this part of the world, the Western culture, where once you go to college, that's it, you're out of the house. And some people choose to stay back home with parents and come back home from campus. And you're used to hanging out while you're on campus till whatever time. Yes. And then you come back home and mommy and daddy, you can relate. Yes. Right. So how do you navigate that? How does it feel? Because, safety is their priority. Safety is priority of both the teenager and the parents. They're telling you to come back home from a point of safety, from a point of accountability, responsibility as your parents. So how does it feel? Bring me into that space. Let me understand what goes on in your head, as a teenager or as a young adult. Yes.
Okay, so there's two ideologies. Yes. Either deal with it or take your freedom by force. Okay, for me, I'm in college. When I'm in college, I don't have a curfew. I don't have parents telling me or nigging and nagging on me about what I need to do. If I want to do this at this time with my friends or by myself, I can do it. If I want to go and get pizza, I can do it at like 11, that kind of thing. But when you go home and your parents are like, you need to be home by 11. You need to be home by a certain time. You're just like, it's kind of annoying. So for me personally, how I do it, I just deal with it. Because I've been noticing that as I get older, I start to slowly get granted more privileges as I age, just because they start to view me as like an adult in some certain scenario. They've been a little bit more lenient with me, like hanging out and doing things, but I still have a curfew. I still have to get home by a certain time. I have to reach a certain quota, or else I'm still going to get in trouble because I'm living in my parents' house and they still pay my bill. They still do all these things for me. So I have to respect them in that regard. So I do come back home, but then I've also heard from other people that what they do to get their freedom, because they know their parents will never give it to them, because some parents are extremely controlling, you have to take your freedom by force, okay? So you're gonna have to be the one to step on some toes. If you feel that this is unfair, that they're mistreating you, that they're not granting you the privileges that you deserve as you age, you're gonna have to do what you need to do. I know some friends also, like in college, maybe they live in a really extremist Christian household and maybe they're not allowed to pierce their ears, or they're not allowed to wear certain clothes. But when they get to college, they finally have that opportunity to do it. So they do it. But then they get back home and they have to kind of conform once again. But for some people, they've had enough of that. And the whole curfew thing too. They'll be like, I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And honestly, that's up to you. As for me, no, I'm not doing that. I respect my parents just a little bit too much to do that, but it really just depends on your own household situation. But yeah, going back to the curfew, I listen to my parents. When I'm in college, I do what I need to do to survive, because I'm by myself,
I do feel like having a curfew necessarily growing up isn't bad, but I definitely do think that it gets to a point to where you kind of need to let your child go and kind of just let them be more free. Like, you can't be telling, say a 28-year-old is living in your house. You can't be telling a 28-year-old, oh, come back home by 12 a.m. Like, they're grown. Like, they know what time they want to get home. They know what time they want to leave the house and do the things they want to do and come back home. Of course, a lot of parents say, like, oh, what is there to do at this time of night? And sometimes, yeah, what is there to do at that time of night? But sometimes it's not even about going out. It's just maybe about like being with friends, being in the house, being just in the comfort.
Maybe getting groceries.
Yeah, being in the space of your friends and all that. And sometimes it goes longer than the time you think. And sometimes I don't even really know my curfew. I just assume that my curfew
before 12.
It's before 12. So just don't get in the house after 12. Sometimes they still get mad at me for sometimes coming home at like 11:50 or something. But
do you share location?
I share my location. Yes. But the thing is, sometimes even though when I go out, sometimes there's still superstition. Not with my mom, more of my dad. Sometimes he just feels like I'm doing things that I'm not. But sometimes I actually am going to do what I did with my friends, and then I come back home. And sometimes my location starts tweaking. Like sometimes like my phone will die, so my location goes gray. But he would think that, oh, you turned it off and you went to go do this and that. I don't have the gas.
know.
I don't have the gas.
Real. Like, we're not doing
If I
that.
say I'm going to the movies with my friends, I went to the movies. And I'm coming back home after that. So, I just think that curfew, it just depends. Definitely, like, the more you get older, I feel like curfew should start being not your parents' problem, your problem. I mean, don't start coming home at, like, for me, I don't know. Some parents are just really chill. Some kids can go out all day, come home 6 a.m.
Yeah. For me, as a young person, I just, the curfew is stupid, okay? If I want to have fun.
Let me tell you what I'm saying. I understand.
Teenagers and young adults just want to have fun. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I've heard some teenagers in their I'm not talking about the young teenagers like 13, 14, 15. No, 16. Once they start working, at what age do you start working in America?
I started working at 16.
Okay, so I'm talking 16 up. Because I have teenagers that I mentor, they do the closing shifts for restaurants, and that means they're back at about 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And so there's that responsibility that keeps them out till about 2 a.m. And their parents understand that's the environment we live in, the Western culture, compared to maybe places like Africa where you don't have teenagers on closing shifts. Now, the reason why I'm shedding light on this is I understand you want to have fun, you're a teenager. And Sunmi said something about parents being chilled and letting their teenagers out till 6 a.m. I don't think that's true. I think that's carelessness. Because the way the world was back in the day is not the way it is right now. We have the highest rate of trafficking. In this day and age, we have that. Yes, we do have the highest rate of trafficking than it was back in the years. So the world keeps getting dangerous. And I'm happy. I speak for the country we're in now, which is the United States of America. I see a lot of teenagers share their locations with their friends and their parents. It makes me so happy because growing up, there was nothing like that. So everyone in their circle know, okay, Sunmi is right here. Someone even probably out of Texas knows where Sunmi is. Maybe your cousins in Maryland, they know where you are. And that's so beautiful. But as much as we share locations, it's still very important to be accountable. I believe in accountability. And it starts from little things like curfews. You might feel like, this is too much, but it's teaching you accountability for the future. At the same time, I understand what you're saying. Parents should still be chill. And as you grow older, I remember going to college outside of Nigeria and coming back home. And my dad was like, this is 10 p.m. and you're not back in this house. And I felt like, bro, I lived apart from you for like 2 years and I came to my house by 3 a.m. and nothing happened. And I still survived. And all you taught me, I imbibed it and I didn't mess up outside. I mean, you should trust that I'm still up. And then he was like, yes, I hear you. I was thinking about it and we did have a conversation. So this is what I feel when it comes to curfew. It's from a place of safety, but a lot of parents don't take the time to have enough conversations around it. That's where the confusion comes in. So parents, have enough conversations around this whole thing and you see that you would have a smooth ride, and the days that you have a bumpy ride, it would be a case of, okay, we've had this conversation before. Why are you not keeping your part of the bargain? I'm not calling you, I'm not stalking you, but please hold your own side of the deal. So lack of conversation around it, fix it. We've advised the parents. Yemi has given me 2 scenarios. Sunmi, how would you advise teenagers in your own category, your age grade, on how to handle curfews going forward after watching this?
I definitely feel like what you do outside will like determine, a lot of aspects of curfew. But I definitely feel like if you know like the child of who you are and you know what you're doing, I don't really know how to explain. Like I just like having a curfew isn't bad. I definitely think it forces good rules and it makes you more aware of things and stuff. Because outside is very dangerous. Like being outside at 16-year-old at 3 a.m. that's not safe. You should be in the house. But when you go outside and you know how you got brought up, whatever you're doing outside, as long as you're doing it safely and you're doing it carefully, you surround yourself with good people. I mean, I feel like you're fine and you should be fine. And I don't think there should really be too much worry. Different story if you keep doing bad things and there's results to that bad thing and your parents keep having to, cover for you, which no one wants to be going through that, then, of course it's understandable if a parent doesn't trust you and wants to keep you in the house or come home at this time. But I feel like if you...
I'm sorry to interrupt you. What you're trying to say is teenagers should learn to build trust with
Yeah, build trust.
Powerful.
You can't be complaining to your friends like, oh, my parents don't trust me with this, but there's so many results of you keep going against their rules
and breaking
it. Of course, no one's gonna trust you anymore. But I'm coming home right. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing that. I'm listening to you. You still don't trust me. So it's like, how am I supposed to feel happy about having this curfew and all that? So It's really just about like trust.
And it's both ways. So
Yeah, it goes
parents
both ways.
trust that the values you've put in on your children are there and they're going to exhibit it when they're out in the world. And children or teenagers build trust with you.
Exactly. It's very true. Yes, the
So
building
trust is
part.
both ways.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Parents trust that all you've taught them, they're going to practice. They're going to. It's just like you've trained them and
Yes.
they're going to roll with it.
They're gonna reenact it. Yeah.
Yes,
Like in
that's
college,
beautiful.
yeah.
Now I'm going to talk about love. That's a juicy one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Give it all to me.
All right, so I've seen a lot of my teenagers tell me, Auntie, I can tell my mom, but I'm gonna tell you, I like this guy, or I like this girl, and my mom has a clue, or my dad has a clue, or my dad will kill me. He's not gonna hear about it. That kind of. How is it like for you both personally? Are you open with your love life, or would you rather talk to Auntie Mimi? Thank you.
Of course. I didn't get to share my love life until my sophomore year of college. My parents were not willing to hear anything about any guy from the time I was in my 12th grade year and back. But now that I'm in college, I'm 20 now. It's kind of getting to that point where it's like we're introducing the topic. So I can talk to my mom now kind of a little more comfortably about any potential prospects that are on the radar. My dad, though, of course, as all dads are still very protective of their daughters, right? So I have a story. I got a car this year from a certain car dealer, but the car dealer decided to go and text me and was trying to like flirt with me and stuff. And I was telling my mom, and she was all like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, oh yeah." I told my dad, he's like, "No, it's not time. It's not time. Don't do it. It's Yemi. You're so young." Look, it didn't go through. Well, I don't even want that to go through, but that was weird for sure. But yeah,
That
navigating
was his
love
natural
life.
response. That was your dad's natural response.
Yes,
So
yes.
did that take you off?
No, I'm used to it. My dad he's like, Yemi, if you ever come back into this house and I hear you are pregnant. So, he's very strict. He's not very willing and accepting to hear about love or anything like that. But he likes to talk to us about the future. Marriage, giving us advice on, navigating love life and any future guys that might be around.
Okay,
That kind of thing.
All right, so Yemi, thank you so much for sharing about love and how you've related with your parents about it. What about you, Sunmi? I want to hear your perspective and your experience.
Me personally, I definitely can't tell my parents at this time of my life about like my love life or any potential prospects that have like come talk to me. Obviously parents think like, oh, dating's a waste of time. Talking to boys is a waste of time, which I'm not saying they're wrong, because it's true. Boys can be a big waste of time. A lot of them say like they're only here for one thing. Sex. Yeah. Okay, they're only here for one thing, sex. And sexual action, sexual anything.
And once they get what
Which is
they
true.
want, once they get what they want, they're out the door.
There
Yes.
you go.
Oh,
And
I
then,
once had a teenager tell me, "Oh, Auntie, I'm not into." That's one of the teenagers I teach and coach, and she was like, "They're just about the bodies. Everything is just the bodies."
yeah.
And so at this stage of my life, I'm not interested in doing anything.
Yeah, and that's totally okay.
That's wonderful,
definitely
actually. She's saving herself.
But I'm not gonna lie and say that I haven't talked to a boy or boys haven't found interest in me. I mean, I've been at the age where it's just like, if you find someone attractive, you want to talk to them. Like, I haven't like dated anyone to secretly or all that. But yeah, I have probably talked to boys, secretly on my phone and be like, okay, I just want to talk to this boy. But I will never tell a single soul except my sister or friends, I definitely don't really have interest in dating, because right now it's just not the time for that, because like I said, I'm going to college anyway, so there's no one to date. Sometimes I do get a little jealous, where I can't even tell my parent about maybe my love life, like sometimes I
someone you just like.
Yeah, someone I like, someone I find attractive.
Because they'll automatically just shut you
Yeah,
down.
they'll
They'll be
shut
like,
you down.
"No."
Right? Like, I have a best friend who, like, she's kind of like my second family, and like she's very comfortable with her parents, her mom and her dad, and she'll be talking about to her parents about maybe someone in her love life, and they don't shut her down. They just listen. Whether they agree with it or not, they still have their own. She's still comfortable enough to tell them and get a response back without feeling like she's hiding something. Like, I don't like having to hide things from my parents, but I
It comes to that.
I compare myself to that, and I'm just like, I wish I really could talk to my parents about anything, especially boys, because I am at the age where like, yes, I can have a crush. Yes, I'm not like this guy. Yes, I like how he looks. I like this. Yes, we're like talking.
It's normal when it comes with that age. And just like I said earlier, a lot of parents have a lot of work to do on this part that you're just saying, as regards choosing to either create a dynamic with their teenager or their young adult where they can be that number one person they come to, or they can be that number one person they think, no, not you, not exact. And I love that you're telling me these two scenarios, your scenario and the scenario with your friend's family. And that's because your friend's family have created a dynamic where they would rather their child come express to them what exactly it is they're dealing with rather than speaking to an outsider.
Exactly. Because when you can't express to your parents how you feel, you're going to end up taking advice from other external sources. And maybe those external sources don't necessarily have the right advice.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time they don't have the right advice. But you can't talk to your parents, you can't confide in them, because when you do, they're going to bash and criminalize you. So you have to go to somewhere else to try and get your factual information, which might not even be factual, but to you it will seem factual. You know,
this is wisdom for parents, and I just hope that the parents watching this are taking notes. And I just also want you to know that Yemi and Sunmi are not bashing their parents. We've had conversations with their parents, and they're good with them coming to speak on this podcast because they're also airing the minds and also expressing the realities of what a lot of teenagers are dealing with. And just like the vision for TrueProverbs is to renew minds, and that means renewing the minds of everyone watching, both parents, teenagers, young adults, everyone's minds being renewed. So yes.
Also, another thing I have to say about that is that I know it's like protection because they don't want anything bad to happen to their kids, but at the end of the day, we are all trying to find our soulmate. We're all trying to find husband or wife. Like sometimes, maybe back then in the day, you're in middle school, you're getting picked up from school, they see you talking to a boy, they're like, I don't ever want to see you talking to that boy again. I don't want to see you again.
Oh my gosh,
why
I have to say something
why
after
are
this.
you automatically assuming I'm trying to get up on this boy?
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
You're gonna be my boyfriend. I want to be with you. Like, no, I'm just talking. This is a friend. This is a friend that I've grown up with, and we have conversations to talk about. But you're immediately assuming that I'm trying to get up on him, all this. No, it's not. It's really not like that. And then now you're just making it embarrassing for me. And then at the end of the day, you'll grow up and they'll be like, "Where's your husband? Where's this?" I don't even really know how to speak to this boy. I don't even know how to speak to boys anyway because you always locked me off away from boys. So no, I don't have any potential prospects because I don't even know how to talk to a boy. I don't know how to, because talking to girls and boys are two different things. So you still need to know how to be able to hold conversations with guys.
I realize a lot of parents are responding from trauma.
Number
two, they're responding from conditioning. How they were conditioned to think through life, and maybe the experience of their friend's daughter. I must not be my child.
That part.
I'm also aware that parents are responding from cultural pressure.
Yes.
They should not hear that this is happening in my own home.
One thing about parents is that they are people pleasers. I feel like African parents, I don't want to say like general, but like I feel like a lot of African parents specifically, I could be doing something, and instead of them just being like, why are you so worried about what other people are thinking? Why can't you just be thinking
They'll
about
be like, what would brother Yemi think? What would they think? If you are doing this, you will be disgraced.
Well, I hope you know it's just conditioning. Cultural
but I feel like that's sometimes an excuse too. Like, because I swear, if I was to say something, they'll say it's an excuse. I don't want to hear it. But when they say it's not an excuse, it's just how it is, and it's gonna be that way. No, like I understand, like they're not wrong. They've been through life. The things that we're going through right now, they've already been through it. But it's just like sometimes the way you got brought up, you can't keep bringing that onto every new life.
Like
you were born in 1980. This is
America. This is a new generation.
We only be in America.
Get with the program.
Yes. Apart from that, beyond us being in America, I believe this is a global podcast. So even in the African context, it's there. I think it's even worse back in Africa. But this is what I would say. Understanding that some of your parents are coming from the list I just mentioned, trauma, cultural conditioning, and all of that, would help soften your heart and give them grace. But it's not still a license for them to project all of this on their children. For parents watching, I understand you grew up like this is your conditioning and all, but evolve. I always say something. Don't download the template or bring the baggage and project it onto your children. You're losing them that way. So just like Sunmi said, you're seeing your daughter talk to a boy, you came to pick them up from school. Just be like, oh, who's that? Okay, what does he do? You know how you ask questions to find out who the person is in a calm, relaxed tone. Where you can actually now speak up is maybe you've prayed or there's something unsettling with you in your spirit about that friend you've seen your child with. Then you can call them in and be like, okay, baby, I want to talk to you about something. I have this unsettling feeling, this is what I think you should do. Let's pray about it together. The Holy Spirit might have revealed to you that, okay, this guy is a no-no. And then you calmly, in a way, that this is how to build a dynamic where they are able to come and you're their number one source of advice, comfort, and this is where they become open to you. But when you just flip on them and you just shout and you're not listening and you project your fears on them, then you lose them.
And I will say this, strict parents create sneaky kids. Yes. I'm telling you, if you are very strict and you just keep your child on lockdown, the kid will always find a way to always go above and beyond and sneak. Yeah. But if you're just honest, the kid won't have a reason to be sneaky because they trust you enough to be like, hey, mom, I'm doing this, that. Whether you agree with it or not, at least they are honest enough to tell you. But with the sneaky kid, they're not going to tell you at all. They're just doing it in silence. Whether they get caught or not, they're just gonna be sneaky. So
exactly, it all comes down to trust. Some things you can't tell your own parents, so you'll tell other people. Like, I can tell my sister everything about everything that's happening to me because I know I can trust her, and I understand that we're both on that same level, both from the same family, same background, same lifestyle, of course. So when it comes to certain things, I can be like, Sunmi, oh my gosh, bruh, this, and she'll understand me, and I won't get bashed. She's like my therapist, and and I'm also her therapist for when she needs advice on certain things. I can help give her, certain not topics, but certain points that will help steer her in the right direction.
And it's not that we talk to each other. If she thinks it's wrong, she's gonna tell me it's wrong and tell me the advice it is. She's not gonna keep leading me astray and let me do more stupid things.
Just keep it real.
We keep it real with each other, If we like it or not, we will say we don't like it. And if we feel like, okay, cool, we're gonna keep on the conversation, but we're not gonna make each other look dumb and keep making us just
I love what you both just said. And you see, where we take it a notch higher is that the parents that create the dynamic of, okay, you both can come tell us anything in their home, they would benefit. You both would benefit more because they've gone ahead. They've been on the earth longer. They have more wisdom than you both. And so the advice you would give to both of yourselves as sisters, they will take it a notch higher with a level of wisdom that would be able to cement and guide you. That's what you both benefit. But what they would benefit is children that are open to speaking with them and not hiding from them. So it's powerful. This podcast is not just for you both or for teenagers to vent. It's also to teach wisdom to the parents of young adults and teenagers. That's the goal. That's the objective. That's my assignment. All right. So thank you so much for being open about that. I'm going to say something in conclusion to wrap up this segment. Strict parents create sneaky kids and honest parents create honest kids. I love it. 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 All right. Thank you. Yes. All right. So I'm going to go over to the next segment, which is correction versus coaching. I have a niece who is very, very expressive and loud. She is the life of the party. She lights up every room she walks in. And one time we all went on a trip and I pulled her to the side and I was like, baby, I understand this is who you are. This is who God has made you to be. However, learn to read the room, learn to observe, learn to, okay, should I speak here? Should I be loud here? Should I? And she was like, oh, thank you, Auntie. And she listened. But what I found out was the other grown-ups around were like, stop, it's too much. Keep quiet, shut up. And, it's more like to dim who her original is. So I'm going to ask you both, how do you navigate this as a young person with your parents, with family members? I saw the other people correct her brashly, and maybe because it's my area of specialty. I coach teenagers, I coach young adults. So I was able to coach her and be like, hey, I get it. I love it. However, correction versus coaching. So speak to that if you can.
So I can definitely relate to your niece because I am a very energetic and hyperactive person. You might already be able to tell from the way my demeanor is.
Yes.
But I have a personality that for some people they really love it. It's great. Wow, amazing. Other people will be like, she's doing too much and this, that, and the third. And yeah, I've also gone that kind of conversation where people will say, Yemi, I love you, but tone it down. It's a little too much. And at first, when I was younger, when I hear that thing, it's like, they're my haters, they hate me, they're not looking for my good, they just want to take away my light, blah, blah, blah. But then as I age and I realize that, yeah, I am going to be in certain scenarios and situations where people are a little bit more poised and quiet.
Demure.
Yeah, and demure. I just have to kind of understand that they're not going to understand me. And not everybody's going to understand you. And guess what? That's okay. That's why this world is diverse. We have all different kinds of people from all different kinds of walks of life. And not everybody's going to understand who you are. But as long as you know who you are within yourself, that's truly all that matters. So when I'm in some certain scenarios, yes, I will tone it down just a little bit so I can understand the people I'm around. And when I'm around areas where I can truly be my authentic self and flow freely, then I'm going to be that free-flowing spirit. I'm just going to move all around and be giddy, excited, and happy. You know, like this space right now that I'm in, I know I can be my true authentic self, and that's what I'm showcasing. But you know, when you're energetic like me, it can still be hard to tone it down. Even when I'm in some of those situations where I should be quiet, I'm still a little bit too bubbly. It's just understanding that you're consciously making that effort to try and improve and be better in certain scenarios, then really that's all that matters.
So what you're telling parents is parents don't need to erase originality just to teach their kids wisdom, right?
Yes,
Powerful.
yes.
So let your kids be their authentic self, be original. However, coach them in the process of correcting. As you're correcting them, correct them not to kill their originality, but to coach them in line with their originality. That's what I hear you say. Okay, what about you, Simi?
For me, it's like quite the opposite. Me and her have really two different personalities. For her, she's just completely extroverted, which is okay. For me, I'm more introverted and extroverted, but I'm definitely more leaning onto the quiet side a little bit. Like, I have a social battery that runs out very quickly. I sometimes get overstimulated too quickly where I can't be in a space with a lot of people. I have to leave and be in my own space. That's okay. Like, I don't know, some people like to think you're doing too much too, but for me, I know when to tone it down. I know when I can be in a space where I can be very loud, very energetic. Since she's my sister and I've grown up with her, there's definitely been a lot of times where I'm like, Yemi, like, you need to tone it down a bit, respect people. Because sometimes my sister will be very energetic, but the people around her don't feel that energy. Like, they want to be kind of more quiet, refined, but then she's just all up more in their face, kind of just being energetic. But it's like, you have to read the room and understand that not everybody is having that same energy as you. So you kind of have to understand when to tone it down and keep it simple. But I'm not saying that to like dim her personality or make her feel bad. When she was younger, I would say she kind of felt bad when I say stuff like that. Like, even now, I still have conversations with her like, you're doing too much. Like, you kind of need to calm down, you know?
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, I'm telling you, the way some parents come at their kids, or just kids in general who do too much, they can't really come at their kids like that. Because auntie, just because you're quiet and refined doesn't mean that everybody else around you is going to be quiet and refined.
Yes.
We're not all the same. Everybody's a different person, and we all grew up differently. Like, that's just how it is. Some parents are good with being able to like let their kid be their authentic itself, and then there's some people, like I said earlier, that they have to be performative with, where we can't really be our true self because they just look at you like, you know, it's just like,
my gosh.
I don't even want to talk.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's like,
Yeah.
you're not accepting this person that I am. I can't change for
Exactly.
you. This is who I am.
Like, our mom's side of the family, very
they're just refined. Like, they're just more quiet.
you know.
And then my dad's side of the family, they're more
They're a
like,
little more,
you know.
yeah.
So you just need to learn to balance it.
Yeah,
up.
balance it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, for me, it's easy to balance. Like, I can be, shut up, like, be quiet, and I can be also like,
Right.
But it's just like, for her, like, she's just energetic. It's kind of hard for her to just kind of.
That's who God made her.
It's just how it is. It's how God made her to be, and that's totally okay. And she will find the right people in her life, and she's probably already found the right people in her life that support that,
Yes.
and love that. And there's been friends where she's come across where they just hate on her and just say the meanest types of things, and it's just like, why are you even around something like that when you're just gonna keep talking your ish? You know, there's always coaching, there's always correction, but say the correction correctly without making someone feel sad about themselves and make them feel bad about the personality that God created them with, you know?
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much for speaking to that.
Appreciate you both. And finally, we're going to a segment giving our parents grace. I know you want your parents to evolve. I know, just like I said earlier, some of them have insecurities, traumas, have a way of thinking, conditionings that have shaped who they have become. And sadly, some of them have projected it on their teenagers, on their young adults. Now, my question to you is, if your parents were listening right now, what would you hope they understand? Maybe in terms of openness, in terms of honesty, in terms of listening, in terms of, I can go first even though I'm not a teenager. I can say something like, a healthy reverence is built where love meets safety. I can say something like, Dad and Mom, just listen. Listening builds a lot of trust. I can say something like, openness does not cancel reverence. I can still be very you, but still be open to you. So based off of what we've been talking about, what would you say to your parents if they were listening?
Okay. I definitely do think, like, I understand the perspective of parents sometimes because, like I said, they've passed through this life. They want to protect you. They just want to keep you safe. So they want to give you advice that they feel like, yes, I want them to understand this and hear this. And that's totally okay. But I feel like sometimes, like, they have to understand that also we are kids growing up and we want to experience life. We want to have fun, but still the safe way. And it's like, if we can build a relationship to where I feel comfortable enough to talk to you and you understand my side and you can talk to me and I understand your side, and it's not back and forth bickering. Like, sometimes you talk to your parents, but they just think that whatever they say is right. They don't care to hear what you have to say. It's just me and what I have to say, and that's it. That's only that. That kind of, like, you know, like I said, just makes you not interested to even want to build a relationship with your parents. So I just feel like, as much as you grew up in a different part of life, I can understand why your mindset and the way you think and, like, in life is going to be different from how I think. But at the same time, if you want to build a stronger relationship with your kids, you kind of have to start being open to learning new things.
Be flexible.
And be flexible. Become more broad. Stop trying to be in one point where I grew up like this, so I'm going to just keep it like this. Like, no, we are growing up in a new society where things are not the same as they were before. I understand, like, there's trauma, there's things that conditioning, cultural differences,
ideology.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of hard to just kind of, like, leave that and just try to be with your kids. But
being open,
I feel like you can't keep using that as an excuse. Like I said before, like, a lot of parents just like to use, like, okay, but I grew up this way. You're just saying that just to make you feel like you're right, you know?
Yeah, for real.
So yeah, you can
So we appreciate you.
What I would say is, Mom and Dad, I love y'all. I do. Yeah, they are Sunmi and I would not be here if it wasn't for the collective contribution of both of our parents in our lives.
Very grateful.
They have done so much for us. They have provided for us. They have advocated for us. They have fought for us in so many things. Why would I be ungrateful? I am so grateful for them. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for the training, the sacrifices and the lectures and the punishments that I had to go through in order to become this person, because I would have been much more different. So Mom and Dad, with all my heart, I love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Like, set us up on the track for success for sure. But definitely, of course, as we are all humans, we all have our own individual flaws. Definitely, in terms of flexibility, our parents are tight as a pencil, you know, probably tighter than a pencil, like a pen or something even stronger. It's very hard to mold them. They're not like Play-Doh. Of course, because of the way that they were raised, the generation that they lived in, the parents who raised them, the way that they view the world is definitely a lot more different than the way that we live. And of course, they grew up in a different society. We are from America, you know, it's a very individualistic mindset, very you're a go-getter, do your own thing, be independent, be awesome and stuff. And of course, you know, we grew up in that, so we kind of adopt those values, and our parents are very like, you must do this, you must do that. And then on top of that, because they're also Christian, there's that additional layer of everything that God has said, I take it as complete fact. It is exactly this. We are not changing anything. We're not conforming. The word of God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And while yes, that's true, of course, there's a level of rigidness where you cannot confide in your parents in everything because they will not understand you. They're not willing to have a conversation with you. And if you even try to bring it up, you might even get punished. Who wants to go through that? Not me. I'm tired of all that. So my advice for my parents and any parent anywhere is listen to your kids, okay? We definitely don't know it all, of course. We're not saying that you guys don't have the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding of what this world is, because of course you've lived many more years than we have, but it's that understanding of being able to just confide in you. If we have a problem, if we want to talk to you, we have a certain situation that's going on in our lives, let us talk. Let's sit down and have a good discussion. I'm not trying to debate you. I just want to see how you feel about this. I don't want to have to constantly feel like I'm walking on eggshells around you. Oops. I just want to be myself around my parents 100% fully and authentically.
Yes.
That way we'll have the best relationship ever. And it shouldn't have to wait until we become adults to be able to do that. It should just be there as children grow in age, because as humans, we're always evolving and growing and changing. And children, most especially, because their brains are still not fully developed. There's so many new topics and ideologies that are coming through. And if they're not able to talk to you, you might not know that they're doing it behind your back because they can't trust you enough to be able to say, Mom, Dad, help, you know? They're just gonna be like, no. So let's just be able to have a true and fluid conversation with no judgment, no bashing, just true authenticity. Let's have that relationship. Start formulating that relationship with your kids now. Otherwise, you might be in a nursing home in the future and you wonder why. Just saying.
And sometimes I also feel like, just like with emotions in itself too, like sometimes I don't feel comfortable enough to just cry in front of my parents, or I feel like I look stupid crying in front of you. So I like to hide my emotions. I go into my room and cry instead because I feel like what I'm trying to tell you is not being heard. So I feel like a lot of things I also hear is that like some parents, when their kids grow up, they'll be like, why are my kids not contacting me anymore? Won't they call me? Why won't they see me? Because they were already tired and they want to move on from that like toxic. I'm not saying my parents are toxic, but maybe just in general. Yeah, like some parents are toxic, and no kid wants to keep being around that same cycle of toxicity. Yeah. So yeah, like you know, if you just become more open to just understanding your kids, like I'm telling you, the relationship will be way more brighter than anything else.
Yes, and please don't punish your kids. Yeah, don't punish your kids.
Like punish your kids when you know things
when they're doing it really bad.
Yeah.
No, when they're coming to you for advice and you just want to have a conversation, don't just be like, you did this?
Okay.
Hey, oh, fire is falling down. No. Just because I'm like, oh, no, you're scared.
Like, exactly.
It's like,
no.
oh yeah, because my parents would be like, just talk to me. I'm here for you. Then I told them, oh, you think
Okay, thank you so much. What I think I hear you say is parents learn to take feedback with grace. May God help us. May God help. By us, I'm speaking for the parents because, of course, I'm on the other end of the stick. May God help parents of teenagers and young adults, because it's a lot. It's not as easy as you both might think, and every other teenager watching. It's not as easy, but thank you so much for speaking on behalf of the global teen community. And I'm also speaking on behalf of the global parents of teens and young adults community. It's a lot of work, I understand, but there's power in listening. Both generations, the teenagers and the parents, everyone listen. There's truth in what they're saying, and there's truth in what we are saying. Thank you so much. I'm just going to zoom in right back to our parents and just say some things. Teens don't want less respect from their parents. They want more connection with them. Silence doesn't equal obedience. Like you heard them say, strict parents raise sneaky kids, and honest parents, open parents, raise honest kids. To sum this all up, healthy reverence is built where love and safety meet. So thank you so much to Yemi and Sunmi. This was really enlightening. This was really eye-opening. This was as real as it could be. And to everyone watching, I hope you've learned a thing or two and you've gleaned and gained wisdom. To every parent, we did not bash you. Just like I said at the beginning, the young adults spoke their truth and their sincere heart. And I just pray that the Holy Spirit will magnify and enlarge it in your heart. And for the teenagers, I hope they spoke your minds and they spoke your hearts. And I just pray that we get better and our minds are being renewed. All right, I'm just going to say a quick word of prayer for everyone watching. Okay, Father, I thank you for every teenager listening right now. You see every teenager who feels unheard, misunderstood, or emotionally boxed in. You see the ones walking on eggshells in their homes. And I just ask for healing in families. Teach wisdom, patience, and understanding. Teach teenagers to respond with honor, grace, and truth. We break fear-based communication and release peace-filled conversations in Jesus' name. Father, restore trust, restore safety, restore love. Teach parents to lead with love. Make them listen. Teach teenagers to speak and relate with their parents with wisdom and honor. Let all our homes become places of refuge again. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all for watching.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Of course, once again, I'm Yemi.
I'm Sunmi.
And,
I am meeting
Yeah.
from TrueProverbs.
of course,
Bye.
bye.
That was amazing. That was really mind-blowing. Now, if this conversation blessed you, made you feel seen, or even made you understand your parents better, hit that like button, subscribe, and share with someone that needs it. You could even share with your parents. Remember, you're not disrespectful for wanting to be understood, and your voice matters. Till next time, stay wise, stay rooted, stay real, and keep renewing your minds. Bye.